Okay, so I'm gonna tell you about my mom, and her name is Lucinda. Now, I don't have to worry about my mom watching this because she don't even know how to use a computer, and she really don't hardly have no friends, so ain't nobody gonna point this out to her. So I really don't think she'll be able to find out. So I might as well just make a movie or video about her, so why not? Hey, what's up? So my mom be all that crazy and shit. Yeah, when I was growing up, my mom, she wasn't really all that nice to me. Now, I don't know if my mom is mad at me just for me being born. Maybe I, like, you know, stretched her junk out or something. But that doesn't mean she should stay mad at me because of that. I remember one time when I was a little girl, I was probably like maybe like 5 years old or 6 years old, or I can't remember, maybe 7 years old. I don't know, something like that. But I remember she fed me cat tuna, cat food, and she told me it was like, human food tuna, and I ate that tuna, and she said I made a face like this. I was like, I made a face like that. And guess what my mom does? She starts laughing. I said, Mom, why did you feed me cat tuna? And she said, because I wanted to see you make a face. She said, it's so funny. And I said, that's not funny. Like, that bitch is crazy. Okay, so my fucked up mom, she would watch porn in front of me when I was a kid. I was probably like, I don't know how old, up until I was like 5 or 6 or something. I can't remember what age, something around that age. And she would be watching porn in front of me. And I'd be sitting there watching it thinking like, what the fuck are they doing? And she's just watching it. And I'm like, what? And then I remember one time, this crazy ass bitch, my mom, Lucinda, dude, she tried to French kiss me. What the fuck? She tried to French kiss me one time. Yeah. She's like, here, now kiss me on the lip. And I was like, okay. And then she kissed me, right? And then she stuck her tongue in my mouth. And I was like, ew, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm trying to teach you how to French kiss. And I'm thinking, what? No, you don't do that to your daughter. Like, what the fuck? And then this psycho bitch, then she tells me that when she was a baby, that her mom used to beat her up until she was all bloody. Like, holy shit. And I'm pretty sure when I was a baby, when I used to be crying, right? Because when you're a baby, you're always freaking crying and shit. And she kept, I'm pretty sure that every time, most of the time when I cried, she would just leave me in my crib and let me cry myself to sleep. Ain't that some fucked up shit? Because every time when I would talk to her about, when she would talk about me being a baby, she would always say I would cry all the time, and she'd always have to put me in the crib because I would run around and break stuff. Like, I think she put me in the crib way too much. Like, all the time. She would never talk about her playing with me and stuff when I was a baby. No. She never talked about her playing with me. She would say, oh yeah, I played with you instead. No, she'd just say, I put you in your crib. I put you in your crib. I put you in your crib. When you're crying, it's like, ooh. Listen to this crazy ass shit, right? when I was talking to my dad one time on the phone, he was saying that he had put my mom in a mental home, right? And she stayed there for a month. And then he was saying that she said that she liked it there. That she liked it at the mental hospital because it gave her structural things to do, like activities and stuff. Like, fuck my life. Yeah. Fuck my life. So my mom was pretty abusive toward me, sexual and physical. And I remember my mom, she used to let me drink beer when I was a little kid. And she would leave me home alone a lot. They left me home a lot. Like, I could have got kidnapped or killed or hurt or something. And then they would leave the porn out. And I would go watch the porn when they were gone. Because they left me home for so long. And like, what the fuck? They would allow me to walk to school and home alone. And that shit was like, I think that was like a mile walk or some shit. And I'm sitting here like 6 and 7 years old walking like a mile to school. That is so fucked up. That is so cruel. Anybody could have just came and snatched me up and killed me. Anything could have happened to me and they would have known because they let me walk to school and back alone. In the rain. I had to piss. I remember one time I pissed on myself because I couldn't hold my pee any longer because I had to walk to school. So as I was walking home, yes, there was a trail of piss on the road because I could not hold my pee. So I'm walking home and pee all on the road. And guess what? My dad was home. He could, yeah, when I knocked on the door, he was home. And he picked me up and brought me to the bathroom. He could have picked me up from school and sent me walking. But this video is about my man. And her and my dad met in the military. And of course when she got out of the military, she was working at Pizza Hut. Wow, Pizza Hut. Oh yeah, then I remember they had a car to where the bottom of the car didn't even have a floor. Yeah, that's right. When you looked at the bottom of the floor of the car as you were driving, you could see the motherfucking road. You could see the road. What if I would have fell out my chair? Fell out. This was like I was a kid. Like a baby and a kid. How the hell are you gonna have a kid riding in a car with no floor in it? What the fuck? You could see the road going by. Anything could have fell and it would have went right out that damn car. Like, I don't know what it was. It was some piece of shit, black looking, junk looking car. Oh yeah. Then, you know how like on Fridays you would have a spelling test? Well, guess what my mom would try to do? She would try to help me study for my test, right? And since she has like some kind of anger issue or something, she would try to get me to say the words out loud or to spell them on paper or something. And if I spelled the word wrong, she would get so ridiculously mad. It was really fucked up. She would like grab the back of my head like this, like that, and put her face in my face, and she'd be like, "Why didn't you spell these words right? You need to spell these words right." And at that point, I am freaking scared to death. Like, I am not going to be able to think about my words if somebody is pulling onto my hair and yelling at me right in my face. How the hell am I supposed to think? But you know, when you're a kid, you don't realize that you're not going to be able to think if someone's doing that. When you're a kid, you're just thinking, oh my god, I need to spell the word right or she's gonna do something to me. Ah. So I would try to spell the word right, but I could not think. And she would like keep doing that. Sometimes she would like chase me around, but she looked like she had like a demon look in her eyes. Like her Virgo sign is this, or not Virgo sign, my bad. Her zodiac sign is a snake, right? Dude, she seems just like a freaking snake. She seems like some kind of cobra or something. Like she seems like she is just ready to bite a poisonous venom bite to anybody, pretty much. That's the vibe I get from her. And when my mom left me home alone, she would say, Rachel, you can fix yourself something to eat while I'm gone. Yeah, that's cool, but guess how old I was? I was like 6 or 7, maybe 8, something like that, when she said I could fix myself something to eat. I think when I was younger than that, she would actually, you know, serve me my food or whatever. But you know, the kids, they just gonna eat cookies and shit. And that's what I did. I ate fucking cookies and crackers and like fucking junk food and shit. She wouldn't like, I don't think she really like left me nothing really all that healthy to eat. It was really fucked up. And I'm extremely mad. I'm so mad that I'm smiling. Isn't that cool? So cool. Yeah. I can't remember my mom I can't really remember hardly any good memories with my mom. Like, not that many. I don't really hard to remember. I mean, it's really hard to remember stuff like that when you're a little kid, because I stayed living with my mom from the ages till I was a baby, until I was about 8 years old, maybe a few weeks before I turned 9 years old. Then my dad and my stepmom, they stole me away from my mom after school. So my mom did not know, because my stepmom asked me, she said, do you want to live with your mom anymore? And I said no, because she seemed very abusive and crazy toward me. So I left all my stuff at my mom's, and I had to start all over with like new clothes, new toys. I had to start all over and just leave it all behind. My freaking Sega Genesis and my cool microscope. A couple neat toys that I had to freaking leave behind, which was very freaking sad. But ever since then, when that happened, my mom, she had nothing to do with me. Like, she didn't even call me after they stole me. It's like she didn't even give a fuck, really, that they stole me. I'm pretty sure she had my dad's number, or he had her number or something. She didn't, I mean, she was mad about it, and she did care. It's crazy. And when you're young, it's hard to filter out everything what's really going on and stuff. But I just remember one time my mom was really mad. My dad, stepmom, and me were at the house, and then she pulled out a knife on him. It was kind of dark outside, and she pulled it out at him, and I don't know what she was saying, because I was in the car, so all I could do was see what was going on, so I didn't get to hear what was going on, because I didn't roll my window down. But I just seen her holding the knife toward him, like walking toward him like she was gonna stab him or something. And I don't remember what my dad was trying to tell her. I don't know if he was saying, hey, you can come visit Rachel, or I don't know exactly what he said or what happened, but I don't think he was trying to do anything. When my dad was trying to talk, I don't think he was trying to cause any harm at that time. He was trying to make some type of peace with her, and she just hates him so much that she wanted to cut his ass, but she didn't do it. I think what happened, I'm pretty sure he probably got back in the car. It was a long time ago. I was probably like maybe 9 years old or something. I can't remember, but that was a while ago. But I know that was really crazy. So I hadn't seen my mom up until at the age of 8 years old. I hadn't seen my mom ever since then. One time, I think when I was 12 years old, I was only in court. It was only for like a minute. And my mom was saying that the judge would not let her be around me because she was abusing me. But my dad was saying that she was allowed to come and see me if she wanted to, and they weren't. My dad wasn't gonna get mad about it. Like, you know, he would let her see me, but she was saying that the judge would not let her be around me. So I don't know. She's probably lying, because she lies a lot. A lot. But I have, ever since that time in court when I seen her for like a minute, and she looked all crazy looking, like she looked weird looking, like really weird looking. It was strange, because I hadn't seen her in like 5 years, and then I hadn't seen her, you might as well just say from 8 years old. I wouldn't really count that time at the court. It was only for like a minute. I had barely seen her. But say from 8 years old to age like 25, I think. Somewhere around there, like age 25, is about when I seen her again. And that was only because she didn't have a job anymore, because she was working at the the Maidenform company, and then Haynes bought the Maidenform company out. So I was leaving where I was at, and I needed a place to go. So she came and picked me up, and she hadn't seen me in all those years, right? And guess what she sees in me when she first sees me? She's like, hi, and then she's like, you're short. You're short. You're short. And she just keeps saying it, and I'm like, I know I'm short, but you don't have to keep saying it. And she's like, I know, but you're just so short. Why are you so short? And I'm like, I don't know why I'm short. And in my mind, I'm thinking, well, maybe if you would have fed me some decent food, and if my life wasn't so fucked up, maybe I would have grew some more. But to this day now I talk to her on like a normal kind of basis, like maybe every other day or so, or at least more than once a week, maybe 3 times a week, maybe twice, like off and on a decent amount of time. Now we stay contact regular. And then finally, 2 years ago, she finally helped me out a little bit in life. Finally, she helped me get a car. And that car was so damn cheap. That thing was only like $3,000. And she helped me with like $1,000 of it. $1.5 grand or something like that. maybe $2,000. I can't remember. But that's a cheap ass car. Come on, $3,000. Whoa. I guess at least it gets me from A to B. But when 2 years ago, I was living with her, and I hadn't lived with her since I was 8 years old. So not seeing her from 8 years old all the way to age 25. So it's like she seems like a total alien to me. We know pretty much really hardly anything about each other, anything. So when she picks me up after she's saying, "You're short," like an evil person, then after she picks me up, she's all mad. You would think she'd be happy to see me, right? She ain't seen me all these years. No. She's all mad because when she was trying to find my location, since she is so computer illiterate, she doesn't have a freaking GPS, right? So I had to like tell her the address, and she had to like go to the library and like print it out. No, I think what happened, I think I had to go to the library, right? And I had to print out the directions on Google Maps, and I had to send it to her in the mail because she's so computer illiterate. If she had a GPS, she could have got right there. GPSs work really freaking awesome most of the time. So she used that paper I sent to her in the mail, and she used that and, come find me. But I mean, come on. When I lived with her 2 years ago, she was 48 years old. Come on. You can be 48 years old and be good at working a computer. There's people older than that know how to work a computer. She said the reason why she didn't even have an email address. When I was living with her 2 years ago, and remember how I was telling you, she said she lost her job because she was working at Maidenform, and Haynes bought it over. So they fired all the Maidenform people, or most of them, right? So she was one of those people. So since she got laid off or whatever, or fired, she was able to collect unemployment. Because you can only collect unemployment if the job lays you off or whatever. Not if it's your fault, you can't get unemployment. But if it's something like that, you can get it. But when she got it, when she had the unemployment, she needed to find a new job, right? And guess what you usually have to find a job? An email address. That's not that hard, is it? To have an email address? That's not that hard. It's simple as fuck. So I had to help her create an email address when I was living with her. Then I had to help do her own resume. Then me and her because when I went to live with her 2 years ago, I had a job kind of, but I had to use my boyfriend's car because I didn't have a car when I got out of Job Corps. And it was a home health aide job, so I had to drive all over town, have hardly any hours. And it was just so stupid. Driving everywhere to work 2 hours, have to drive all the way around town for work 2 hours? No, that's so stupid. So I was like, fuck this shit. Since she didn't have a job, she had a bunch of money, like maybe like 50,000, somewhere around that line. Like maybe $50,000 saved up in her account because she just lived in like I don't remember, it might have been 70,000 or 50,000. I can't quite remember. It was something like that. But she would work at the Maidenform place, and she worked there like maybe 12 years or so. And she didn't buy a whole lot of stuff. She lived in a junk pile trailer. When I moved in with her, oh my freaking... Ugh, that shit was so bad. When I moved in with her, oh my god, it was like a nightmare from hell when I moved in with her. She told me her place was kind of bad, right? But I didn't think it was really this bad. Whew! Let me tell you how bad it was. Okay. She didn't have no AC, no hot water, recently the fridge broke maybe a few months ago, and it's still not fixed yet. And she is old enough to know what to do to fix this stuff. She says she tells the landlord to fix it, but she maybe told him like one time a long time ago. Shit, people are gonna forget. You gotta get onto the people and like let them know you need your shit fixed. If you don't tell your landlord, if you don't keep telling them, they're gonna forget and they're not gonna give a shit, you know? So I don't know, she's crazy. But in that back room, she had a freaking skeleton back there. That's right, you heard it, a skeleton in the back room. No, it wasn't a human skeleton, which I wouldn't be surprised if there was one back there, because she's that crazy. But it was a mouse skeleton in the back room, in the closet. You know where, you know how you have those sticky traps, and you stick them down? Or you know, like a sticky thing, and you fold it, where it's like a triangle shape, and then like cockroaches and bugs crawling it and shit. Well, it was a mouse on it. That's right. No fur, no internal organs, no nothing but skeleton on it. If that thing was only skeleton on it, that had to make her air so unhealthy. Couldn't she have smelled that thing fucking stink? And could you just imagine the nastiness? A rotting mouse in your closet and melting in the heat with no AC. Could you just imagine rotting skeleton in 100-degree weather or temperature or whatever? That's pretty freaking disgusting. And when I moved in there with her, it was in a junk pile trailer, right? So freaking tiny. 2 bedrooms, right? Tiny little kitchen. Itsy bitsy teensy weensy little living room. And she had like all the old furniture from when my dad and her were together, from when I was a kid. It's like she's still holding on to those memories in a very twisted, creepy way that is revolting. Like the entertainment center that she had her tiny little TV on, the entertainment center is like, you can tell that thing is gonna fall apart. You can tell it looks like you could push it and it'll fall apart because it's all like lopsided and shit. It's like this big old like wooden, like a kind of like a tall wooden one, but it's all fucking crooked and lopsided and shit. And oh my god, that's just crazy. And then that back room where the skeleton was at, the old furniture, it was kind of like nice, kind of like expensive furniture, I guess, where it's got like, you know how you have like the old wood looking stuff and it's got like the little engravings in it, like dark colored furniture, kind of like that. But it was all furniture. I know my dad picked it out. My mom didn't pick none of it out because she's so freaking lame. It's like she don't have no hobbies or nothing. Like, what the fuck? It's like she just sits there and just dwells on herself. Just a constant dwell of worrying about everything in the world because she thinks she's cursed. Because her mom told her that she thinks she's cursed. And ever since then, my mom keeps thinking she's cursed. I say, Mom, you do not think that you're cursed, or else that is going to make you... They make it worse. And so you can't think that you're cursed in life. I'm not going to think I'm cursed. Fuck no. Hell no. I'm not cursed. Good things will happen to me eventually, hopefully. I mean, you know, good things happen to me, but... You know, hopefully things will get better and better and better, you know. But, yeah. But that back room, she could have turned that back room into my bedroom. And guess where I was sleeping when I was living there 2 years ago? That's right, I was sleeping on the floor. On the living room floor. And I lived with with my mom, sleeping on the living room floor. Guess how long? 6 months until I got the job at Walmart and the Fayetteville Observer. Then I met this guy. Well, my neighbor, I gave my number to him, and he gave my number to somebody else. Then this person seen me one time walking to the car, like some creepy person, and then they started texting me, and then I got to know him, and then I moved in with him eventually, but Guess what I was sleeping on? Oh yeah, when I got those 2 jobs, Walmart and the Federal Reserve, I moved out. I couldn't take that place no more. Like her, the bed. Oh my god. So I was sleeping on like a yoga mat and a little blow up mat, like the kind of, like a tiny little, like a twin size blow up mat, really small, like something made for like a little tiny tent or something. But it was, you could blow it up, right? But it was very thin. A very thin, no kitty, a very thin blow up, right? So I had to take the mat and put it on top of the little tiny little blow up mat just to create some extra padding so I can feel comfortable while I sleep. And my mom is so psycho. That back room that had the old furniture back there, and guess what? The furniture was stacked up on each other. Like, say, you know, like a dresser, right? Dresser drawers. They were stacked on top of each other. And you could tell she hadn't used those drawers in over, I would say, over 12 years or so. Because she's been living in that trailer now. I can't remember if she's been living there 12 years or 15 years. But she's been living in that trailer that she's still in that same trailer, living that same way that what it was like when I was living there for 6 months. And then it was just so incredibly super terrible. It was like a nightmare from hell. And she said she hadn't cleaned the trailer. She has not cleaned the trailer in like over 12 years or so. Like the whole time she's been there, she said she hasn't really hardly even cleaned it. That's so fucking gross. There's like cockroaches everywhere. It's, ugh. Like bugs everywhere. You turn on the lights and cockroaches scatter. I had to get the fuck out of there. That is some crazy shit. I don't know if have you ever experienced some shit like that? If you have, leave me some comments about your experiences of what it was like living with your parents, if they were fucked up in the head like that. But I remember thinking to myself, that back room could have been my bedroom. Me and her could have worked together as a team, and we could have got rid of that old furniture filled with old clothes from like the 80s and really just ancient fucking pieces of crap and dusty old nasty shit with the skeleton of a mouse back there. And guess who picked the freaking skeleton up? Me. Yeah, I put gloves on and I had to pick the skeleton up and throw it in the trash. Isn't that some fucked up shady ass shit? That's so fucking crazy, man. That makes me very mad. You can just see the anger in my face. It's like weird. It's like when I look really angry, it's like my face looks better. Isn't that fucked up to even say? But when I get mad, it's like I don't know, maybe the blood rushes to my face more and it makes, I don't know. But whatever. And oh my god. And I remember she would get up and when that living room was so small, she would have to literally walk over me to get to the kitchen. That's how small the living room was. So she got up, walked over me. She would make me some food, probably because she felt bad for being such a psycho mom and not being there for me when I was younger. So she would make me, you know, like some eggs and hash brown. This was before I became a vegan of what I am now. And she'd make me some sausage, and she'd like say, Rachel, I made you some breakfast. Trying to be all nice and shit, which is very fucking creepy. Very creepy. I'm surprised that shit wasn't poisoned. But then she would say, okay, we gotta get up. Could you just imagine that? You having to get up. You can't sleep in when you want. Oh no, you had to get up and eat the food she made you when she wanted you to. I can't remember what times it was when she would wake me up. But I remember, I think it was like maybe like 7 or 8 in the morning or something. Shit, you know, a lot of you out there probably want to sleep in. Some of you want to sleep in, you know. It was just a fucking nightmare from hell. Like, then she had when I was living with her, she had a rash on her, like her ankle or something. And she went to the VA hospital because she's a veteran, because she used to be in the Army. And they thought it was a fungus, and they did study on her, and they said she didn't have no diabetes, but it was like some type of like a pink type of rash looking fungus, look like a sore looking thing, but it wasn't like quite open like all the time. But I think what it was, she had that rash on her leg or on her ankle, and it's like, now to this day it's like spreading, now it's spreading to her other leg. And I was looking on the internet trying to figure it out, and I figured it out. It's her stress. If she ain't got diabetes, she's not taking in too much sugar. When I was living with her, I got her to stop drinking soda. I told her we need to be healthier and stuff, and then she stopped drinking the soda. And it wasn't, I don't know if it couldn't have been a fungus, because they gave her cream to put, antifungal cream to put on the rash, and she put it on there and it didn't do anything. And when I was living with her, I noticed when she'd be sitting in the chair, she didn't even have a couch. No couch. The only thing she sat on, there was 2 chairs. She had 3, I think it came with 4 chairs originally, like a padded chair. There was one in the living room. I mean, there was 2 in the living room, one for me, one for her, and then one in the kitchen. And then I guess she lost the other one or some shit. But I remember she'd be sitting in that chair, and she would always be trying to put lotion on it or put powder on it. And I remember before, she was scratching it till blood was coming out of it. And it has to be her nerves, because of her jobs is stressful, because she says everyone's always mean to her at her jobs, and they like steal money from her, and that they say, hey Cindy, can I borrow money from you, and that they don't give the money back to her. And they're like really mean and cruel. They'll see how much money they can get out of her, and she's stupid enough to keep on giving them money thinking they're gonna be her friend. They're not gonna be her friend because she gives them money. I mean, some people, I mean, shit, if someone gave me money, I would be nice as fuck to them. Hell yeah, I'd be nice. But no, they're mean to her, and then she'll keep on giving them money even though they're mean to her. Ain't that some crazy shit? And she'll give them money because maybe after that they'll kind of act like they're trying to be friends with her a little bit, right? But then they'll be nice, and then she'll give them a little bit more money, and then they'll go back to being mean to her again, and then they'll go back to being nice to her. When they want money, they'll be nice to her. And she's so fucking stupid. Really, she needs to be in a mental home. That's where she needs to go. And I have a feeling she's probably gonna go there or something, because she has a bunion on her foot too, and this bunion, okay, wait, let me go back to the fungus thing. When you have a fungus, or not a fungus, but when your nerves are really bad and you're really stressed out, that's gonna affect your skin, and it's gonna make you want to scratch your skin. If you're so depressed and nervous and tense about your life, and everything is just terrible, your place you live in and your job is just, everything is just super stressful, you start scratching like one spot on your skin. You're gonna keep scratching it, and she'll keep scratching it, and now it's spreading to her other leg. Then she's saying to this day now, her foot is starting to go numb. Oh man, my battery's low. That sucks. Only have 15% left. Fuck, I gotta hurry. Well, I go plug it in the wall, I guess. But she be saying some crazy shit. I'm gonna go plug this in the wall. I'll be right back, and I'm gonna have to go over here, so hold on. Also, I think she wears her shoes too tight because of that bunion that's on her foot. I think she's saying the bunion is getting worse. Well, now she's 50 years old, but now she said in her feet she's feeling numbness in it, and feels like she ain't getting no circulation in her feet. Hopefully they don't have to like amputate her feet off or some shit. That'd be crazy. But right now she works at the Smithfield hog plant in the packaging department. It's like really cold, so she has to wear like She says it feels like 10-pound steel toe boots in the freezer section. And she says it's like a very terrible job. Like, maybe I should make decent money, like maybe get like about almost around $700 a week, but she says it's terrible. She says it's like a bunch of mean, evil people there, like people that seem like they just got out of prison and shit, and like a bunch of Mexicans that want to slit your throat and stuff, and like she says you put anything down at your job, like your jacket or anything down, they'll steal it, and like she says it's at the hog plant, so they're killing hogs at the Smithfield hog plant. I would not want to work there. Oh hell no, I'd rather work a fucking job that treats you decent and get paid less than do that. But the job I have, I definitely need someone to help me for me to survive. Like, I would not be able to survive on my own with the job that I have. It's a pretty cruel world we live in. But then when I was living at my mom's 2 years ago, her electric was bad. Like, if you turned on certain light switches, it would shut off, like the light bulb would, like, I don't know if it would blow out, or I think she said it would turn all the electricity off. Like, the electricity was bad. Like, she had to heat her water up on the stove and carry this heavy old pot down the hallway and dump it in the bathtub. And then I think I got a freaking plantar wart from being there, and I guess that's caused by some type of virus. And I think from being at my mom's place, it's so gross and dirty that I think I got the plantar wart, and I'm still to this day trying to get rid of it. It's a lot smaller than what it was. When I get done making this video, I gotta like, I gotta get it and stuff. So good, but it's almost gone. But I'm pretty sure I got it from her place, because I didn't have that until after I got out of her place. Then I had it, and like, she's just crazy. She's like, it's like she's just trying to dig her own grave. I don't know. But she says that her foot is getting so bad to where she can barely even walk on it. And like, I think she said it says travel under her other leg. To me, it looks like it's just going to get worse if she don't go to the doctor soon. But she says she's scared to go to the doctor because at the Smithfield hog plant, she says they'll try to fire you for any little thing you do. Like, if you try to go to the bathroom, they'll say, even if you come back in time, they'll say, oh, you didn't come back to the bathroom in time, I'm going to have to write you up. Like, any little thing, try to write you up. I mean, that's why I don't want to work there. Fuck that shit. Hell no. She said I wouldn't last 10 minutes in there. I wouldn't want the last 10 minutes in there. Hell no. I don't see how you gotta be fucking crazy to work there. Like, I would not want to kill no animals. Like, that's terrible. We don't even need to be eating meat. We need to be eating fruits and vegetables and nuts. And that's pretty much it. We don't need to be eating dairy and meat and shit. It's so gross and terrible. And that's, eating meat is such negative energy in that meat because their death is so negative. But, and let me think now. Hold on, I gotta pause it. But finally, after all these years, finally, every now and again, she'll send me a little bit of money. What a fucking miracle, right? It's a freaking miracle. Super miracle. But guess what it was like when I was trying to get out of there? You know how, like I was telling you, the next door neighbor gave his friend my number, and so I moved in with his friend, right? Because I had to get the fuck out of there as fast as I could. As soon as I got those 2 jobs, man, as soon as I got to know that dude a little bit, and we got along and stuff, I was out. We found a place, and I was out of there. But, it was no easy task getting out of there. Oh, no, it was not easy. I had to, like, practically fight my way out of there, because my crazy-ass mom, she hasn't had another man living there with her. She's been living by herself ever since my dad, which is very, very sad and pathetic because that was so long ago. They split apart like when I was like 7 or 8. I don't know. It was very, very long time ago, and never been with nobody else really. That is terrible. Some people, they'll hold on to something, like if someone makes them mad or they're in a relationship and it doesn't go good. I think I've noticed that a lot of times people will be scared to move on, and they'll just keep holding on to those terrible memories, and they just will not move on. They will not do it because they're afraid the same bad shit will happen again. But you gotta move on from that shit, and better stuff will happen to you. But she's still, to this day, living by herself, which is so sad. I could never be living by myself. I lived by myself one time, and that was for 10 months, and it was very lonely. I didn't hardly have no friends at all. I had to walk to work. I had no car. It was like maybe a little bit less than a mile, and I had to walk to freaking Arby's, be a cashier, walk there. I had to walk home, and it was just so lonely. I could barely afford to pay the bills. Like I had maybe $100, maybe $50 left over after the month to spend on what I want after I bought food and stuff. Like, that is fucking terrible. That is so ridiculously horrible. Super horrible. Oh my god, that's bad. Maybe one day I'll get some money, but I guess for now, if you're born poor, it's very, very difficult. Especially being born poor and being born from a divorced couple. That even makes it more harder for you to get money. But somehow we'll all make it, right? Somehow. But let me think. Was there anything else? Oh yeah, when she first moved me in to where she was living 2 years ago. Like, I should have made this video a while ago, as you can tell, but finally I'm making it. And when I came in there, guess what was in the living room? A bunch of junk. Like, there was so much junk in that little tiny living room. There was just enough space to where you could walk a little trail to where you could walk by and get through the living room to get down the hallway. There was just enough space. Like, it was so cluttered up. I had to help her clean it out. It was so awful. And she doesn't have no heat, right? So she has to use like those little portable heaters you plug in, and she also used the kerosene heater where you have to go to the gas station and get that gas or whatever and put it in there. And those things are, I hear those things are so dangerous that they can catch on fire easily, and they turn your walls black and smoky and dirty, and it's like, what the fuck? And she does it like normal, like all the time. Like, and then when she puts the gas in, she smells like gasoline, and she's like, what the fuck is wrong with this bitch? And she put it in the hallway. I don't think you're supposed to be putting a kerosene heater in the hallway. You should put it like in your bedroom, or put it in the living room, not in your hallway. No, if you see how tiny her hallway is, you'd probably be like, damn, that little ass hallway, that shit's gonna catch right on fire. That shit's so little. But it didn't somehow. I'm guessing she even admitted to me. She said she's gonna probably stay living in that trailer until it blows up or something. Yeah, and then it blows up or something. She's probably gonna be in it. She'd be dead, but she digging her own grave. She doing it to herself. I tried to help her, but she's the type of person, if you try to help her, she don't really want your help. She's like, no, I'm fine. She'll be like, can I help you or something? Like I want to help you. And she'll be like, no, I don't want it. I don't want your help. I'm fine, really, I'm fine. I don't want it. Like, cuckoo. Shit. If people are willing to help me, you can best believe I will be willing to let you help me. Yes, if you want to help me, hell yeah, you can help me. I would love some help. I love help. That's like, help is awesome. And my mom, she never had any other kids. I was her only kid. Because she's fucking nuts. I don't even know how she even had me. It's fucking crazy. But I can't believe I slept on that floor like that for 6 months. And 2 of the stove burners don't work. And her oven didn't work either. And then one of the drawers in the kitchen, guess what it was filled with? Maybe, you know, not all the way full, but it had a ton of ants in it. Dead ants. She had like a lollipop or something melted. Yeah, it was melted because she doesn't have no AC in there, so she'll let that trailer turn into like 100 degrees in there, and she'll open the door, the front door, to try to get cool air to come in there. And she'll sit in there and just sit in her own sweat and just sit in there and watch TV in the sweat. What the fuck? That's like her only hobby. She'll just sit there and watch TV. Like she likes to watch. She always told me, I like to watch Jimmy Fallon. He's so funny. But it's so weird. Why would anybody want to live in a torturous environment like that? Like, she should stand up for. It's like she's scared to stand up for herself. It's like she really don't even give a fuck to stand up for herself. It's like she's like, fuck my life. Who cares? Nah, 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 nah. So when I was trying to leave and move in with that guy, right, that I had met for my neighbor, right? Guess what my mom does? She won't let me leave. She stood in front of the door, and she would say, can't we just talk about this? And I was like, no, I gotta get out of here. This place is so gross. This is terrible. I can't live like this. I was like, I don't know how you live like this. It's so horrible. And she's like, oh, I want you to stay. Like, she wanted me to stay because I was the only person that had lived with her ever since she'd been living with my dad, which is like so many years ago. It's probably like 20 some years ago. Like, that's crazy. And guess what I had to do? She was standing in front of the door, wouldn't let me leave. I tried to leave, and she would push me. She pushed me back, right? And I don't know if that was the time, if that was the part when that might have been the part. I can't remember if that was the part or not. It might have been some other time, but I remember either that part or another. I remember I had to say, I'm an adult now. It was something like this. I'm an adult now. I'm not a little kid no more. You can't push me around anymore. Now I can defend for myself. You know, basically standing my ground and standing up for myself. Basically letting her know, like, I can push back now. And she still wouldn't, like, let me leave. She would stay in front of the door and not let me go. So, when she had pushed me back, then guess what happened? Then I got pissed as fuck and pushed her back. Then we were sitting there pushing each other. Then guess what I had to do to get us both to stop pushing each other? Guess what I had to do? I had to scream as loud as I could on the top of my lungs, as high-pitched of a scream that I could make. It was like the sound of somebody that's about to get killed or something, or something really bad about to happen to somebody. So I had to scream really, really so loud to where she had to stop pushing me and she had to cover her ears. And I am like really surprised that the neighbors didn't call the cops or anything because I was screaming that loud. And I had to hold the scream. I had to keep screaming really loud, and I had to do it for like a long period of time. It wasn't just like a eh. It was like I did really long period of time. And I had to keep doing it. And then I would catch a breath, And then I would keep doing it. I would keep screaming over and over and over. And then my mom got to the point where then she started to look at me like I'm crazy, like, you know, like holding her ears, like. Then when I knew my mom was going to finally let me go past to get out the door and finally stop pushing me back, she finally stopped. Like, it was so much fucking dramaticness of me trying to get out of there. Isn't that fucking crazy? Man, that's fucking crazy. That's why I'm sitting here talking to you for almost an hour, because I want you to know just how fucked up I've had it in my life. Like, I've gone through so much stuff that I really shouldn't even be having to go through as a person at all, in general. And then finally, I got my stuff. That was after I finally was able to get that car. She helped me get it. And then I finally moved in with him. And then I started to not like him. Then he was mean to my cat. And he always said, you need to get your boobs in and get a tummy tuck. Ain't no girl gonna want to hear that shit unless they say they want that themselves. No girl want to hear no guy say that. So then, you know, I moved in with a different guy that I like way better than the other guy. But I'm glad I'm out of there. And now I can actually breathe a refreshing, less stressful life. It's more normalist kind of feel, you know, better living quality than what I had it before. Then I remember when I was living with my mom 2 years ago, next to her bed on like this little table thing on the inside, she had these old looking, like 80s looking magazine looking things. And she had one that the title of it was something along like, I forget what it was, the title was called, but it had a relation of incest. How the hell is there an incest porn magazine? Or it didn't like show like naked people, like it maybe showed a few, like it didn't show families doing it together, but I think it had like stories about incest fantasy shit. So my mom was, I guess, into that incest fantasy shit. That's fucked up. That's some wild ass shit. I wonder why my mom was so twisted in the head. She did say that her mom was abusive to her. I guess it was because her mom was abusive to her. That's why I really don't need to have any either. Hopefully I don't, because it's, I mean, maybe I'd be good, I don't know, but abuse usually will keep running right down the family line. I mean, I guess everyone's different, but let me try to think if there's anything else that I really want to say about it. Like, let me think. Hold on, let me give it a thought. I remember one time when I was a kid, I couldn't find my shoe and I had to go to school. And she got really mad because I couldn't find my shoe. And she took the car keys and she threw it at my face. And it left me like a cut, like across my cheek right there. And she said, tell your teachers that you fell. And I think she put a band-aid on it, but that's fucked up. How you gonna throw car keys? I was probably like 5 years old or some shit like that. You don't throw no car keys at a little kid. It's crazy. And there was blood coming out of my cut. Blood. And she said the reason why she's living in that ghetto trailer that she's at, she said she's living there because the rent is cheap. Because the rent is like, what, $325? I think it was $325, but he might have made it $375. I can't remember. But still, that's pretty damn cheap. But everything's fucking broke in there. Like, you name it, and it's probably broke. She said now it's like hard to flush the toilet now. It's like kind of fucking up. And like, if like anything breaks, it's like she just lets it all break. And she doesn't try to pester the landlord, because she said if she asked the landlord to fix stuff, if she said that he'll kick her out if she like bothers him and stuff. Ain't that crazy? So she wants to live there because the rent is cheap. yet she doesn't want to, like, really hardly do anything about fixing anything. Ain't that some twisted shit? Okay, your rent is cheap, but why would you want to fucking live like a freaking caveman? That's how she's living. She's living like a damn caveman. Like, I asked her, I said, what if your electricity goes out altogether? Then she said she'd probably get a hotel. She's got like, she said she's got like close to 70 grand right now. She could be living in a decent place. Matter of fact, she could actually buy a cheap house. There's some houses around that are like maybe in the 50,000 range, like maybe like 56,000, 57,000, 60,000. There's some houses that are like that cheap. She's got like enough money to buy a 3-bedroom house that's decent. Like, she's so fucking stupid. That's crazy. I'm so glad I'm not like her. I'm freaking not like her. No way am I like her. Hell no. And then every time I talk to her on the phone, she'll say, there's this girl named Cynthia that she works with at her job, right? Cynthia owes her like $215 or something like that. But she says Cynthia will be really mean to her, and my mom won't say anything to her, like, give me my money, because she thinks that Cynthia is going to go try to get her fired and say, Tanya, oh, I didn't mean to say that, I'm sorry. And she also says another reason why she stays living at that junk pile that she lives at is because the job that she works at is a Smithville hog plant, right? And then she said they'll fire you very easily. So she figures her job doesn't seem that steady. She's been working there, I think, 2 years now. But she says you have like a point scale. And she says they always try to put points on her. And she says if they fired her, at least she would be living in a place that would have cheap rent. But I mean, if she's been working there 2 years, she says they try to threaten her and try to fire her and stuff and say just like mean shit to her and stuff. And she said if it felt like her job was more stable, like if they weren't trying to threaten to fire her, she said then she would probably get a better place if it felt more like a stable feeling job. But that's what she did with that last job. When they fired her when they let everyone go from Maidenform, she had all that thousands of dollars saved up because of that cheap rent. So she just stayed living off of that money that she had saved up until she got the next job. I mean, that is kind of a good move, but still she has to live in a junk pile. Like, it's mainly this world we live in is so twisted. It's because of these freaking reptilians. They own our government. They own all the politicalness of the world. They own the religiousness of the world. They control almost everything, and they're making everything so evil and twisted that it's just coming back to get us all. It's crazy. Oh, man. But I can see why the people that she works with at her job don't like her that much, because she constantly lies. Like, she lies. When you lie, people will notice that. And when people know you're lying about something, usually if someone knows they're lying, they'll be like, I'm done with you. You're lying? Oh no, you gotta get away from me now. Fuck you if you're gonna lie. No one likes a liar. And my mom does it so much that it's ridiculous. Like, that's how she lives most of her life, is by lying through her life. It's probably like one reason why she lives like the way she lives, because she just lies too much about so many things. She's definitely like a snake. And I feel like she probably sends me negative energy. You know how you can psychically send energy to other people just by thinking about them? She probably sends me negative psychic energy towards me because she doesn't, I don't think she really likes me. Obviously, she probably doesn't really like me. I don't understand why. Just because I was born, she doesn't really like me. I mean, sure, I ripped open her vagina when I came out, but that doesn't mean be mad at me. That ain't my fault. I didn't choose to do that. That ain't my fault, you know? Like, man. But I've been sitting here talking and talking and talking for like, what is it, like an hour and 5 minutes or some shit? Like, damn. I've been talking like a long ass time. So that should be good right there. I think I've done talked a lot. Done talked enough. Talked your head off. So I think now I need to go to sleep. It is 7:08 a.m. Tuesday, the 21st, I believe, of May. No, June. My bad. It's June 21st, 2016. It's time for me to go to sleep because I gotta go to work at 5 p.m. I work 5 to midnight. So if I go to sleep, I'll get like just enough sleep to where I'll be able to function at work. But I really, really wanted to make this video. As you can tell, because it's so fucking long. I've been wanting to make this video for so long. Finally, I'm really glad that I finally made this video now. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you that even to this day, when I was younger, like she would, after a couple years, maybe at like age 12 or 14, I can't remember, I would get contact with her a little bit. But ever since, between the ages of like 14 and like to this day, she'll call me and say, "Hey Rachel, do you want to come hang out with me? Do you want us to go shopping? Do you want to like go to the movies or the mall or something?" No, she didn't say movies. No. But she said mall. And guess what she would do? Every single time. It never fails. Guess what she'd do? She'd blow me off. Not blow me off like, I mean, I'm talking about, what's that word called? Damn it. Whatever that word is. My brain is so fried from talking for so long. Whatever that word, stood you up, stand me up, whatever. She'd always do that every single time. Every time. You know, except for maybe the time when she actually picked me up 2 years ago. That was like the only time. That was the only time that she had called me and asked to hang out with me or whatever, and actually see me face to face. And I've talked to her so many times, and she will just stood me up or stand me up. She's done that so many times. It's freaking crazy, ridiculous. Like, I can't believe how she stands me up. That's probably why she sent me a little bit of money now and again sometimes. I mean, shit, she should feel bad, like, always standing me up, not being there for me. Like, what the fuck? But I'm glad I get to rant and rave and get it off my chest and blah, 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 blah. Because I'm like a very communicative person. Or my life path 11, I have very good communication skills. I do like to talk a lot from time to time, but I need to stop talking because I'm talking too much. Sleep is calling my name, and I will definitely, of course, for sure, I'm gonna make more videos. So I will talk to you later. Bye. Oh yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. That'd be great. So great.